Welcome back to another episode of the Biggest Little Fitspo podcast. I'm your host, Samantha Pfisterer. This podcast is based out of the biggest little city, Reno, Nevada. In this podcast, we'll explore fitness in any and all aspects of the word. This podcast is here to keep you motivated throughout the year by hearing the stories of your peers, your idols, and your hashtag goals. And here's a disclaimer. I am by no means a doctor, a nutritionist, or a certified personal trainer. I am sharing my own personal knowledge for what has worked or not worked for me, and the guests are doing the same unless otherwise noted. Always consult with a doctor, nutritionist, or certified personal trainer before trying any methods for yourself. On today's episode of the Biggest Little Fitspo podcast, I'm interviewing Shelby Clayton, a Reno, Nevada native who has moved to Texas by the time this episode goes live, and she shares her journey of how she started off playing soccer and is now an NPC bikini bodybuilder. So without further ado, let's hop into her episode and hear her fitness journey. All right, well, welcome, Shelby, to the Biggest Little Fitspo podcast. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited.
Yay. So let's get a little bit into who are you, how old are you, and how long have you been active?
So my name is Shelby Clayton. I'm from Reno, Nevada, and I am 20 years old. I will be 21 in March, and I've been active basically my whole entire life. I basically tried and done every single sport that you can think of. My mom always wanted me to try everything to see what I liked, and I ended up sticking with soccer. So I played soccer from first grade all the way up and through high school, and played varsity high school soccer, and went to state as well one of the years. And I also did club soccer, so soccer was very relevant in my life. And I also got into horses when I was about 12 years old. And so I did competitive horse jumping, and so just always been very active. And I started weightlifting in high school as one of my classes, and then I started going to the gym by myself once I got my license. So when I was like a sophomore in high school, and have been weightlifting and bodybuilding ever since.
I remember I watched, I think I found you on Instagram before I found you on YouTube. And I remember watching your horse jumping videos, and that's actually something I've always wanted to do in my entire life. I started like getting into horses when I was like 7-ish, and I read this book about like thoroughbred racing, and I was like, I want to be a jockey. Well, unfortunately, being 5'8" at the time, too big to be a jockey. So just for comparison's sake, so the viewers or the listeners know, how tall are you?
I'm 5'2". I got measured in at 5'1.5" at my show, but I say I'm 5'2".
That works.
Yeah.
Very cool. So was your first fitness experience soccer then? Like, was it bad and you wanted, well, obviously it wasn't bad because you continued with it, but I guess what kept you inspired to keep doing soccer?
I just always liked being active, and I just really enjoyed soccer. I'm not 100% sure why I picked soccer out of everything, but I just like being active. And then I also did track in high school and club soccer, and there was a point in time where I was doing like track practice, club soccer practice, and then I still wanted to go to the gym and do weightlifting. Very passionate. I'm not really 100% sure why, but yeah.
That's cool. So obviously you've changed fitness avenues. What made you want to go from like soccer to horses to bodybuilding?
Soccer ended after high school. I just kind of got a little bit worn out with it, and then I just didn't want to continue it into college just because I knew that would be a big responsibility, and I just didn't feel like it was the right path for me. This past year or two, I actually started doing indoor soccer again just for fun. So I still love it a lot. And then the horses, I still own a horse, and I do competitive jumping still, but it's kind of like on the back burner right now just because I have a lot going on in my life, and my boyfriend and I are moving to Texas in like 3 days. I know that horses are something that I can always do no matter how old I am. So I just kind of have put it off to the side right now and focus on other things. And I'll definitely keep doing horse stuff when I'm older. and I still own my horse, but he's being leased out to someone else right now. My main focus is just weightlifting and bodybuilding. I want to try to make a career out of it and be an influencer on social media and hopefully get sponsored by companies. I do a little bit of personal training, but it's not my favorite. I'm pretty introverted and shy, so interacting with people can kind of be hard for me sometimes.
What do you like best about where you are now, fitness-wise?
I like best that I basically can do anything I would like to pursue. So thankfully I don't have anything that is preventing me or like holding me back from achieving what I want. So I'm very thankful that I have a healthy body and like I'm able to do anything that I want. And like I said, my boyfriend and I are moving to Texas to pursue fitness. We're moving to Houston so that we can go to Alpha Land and get a lot of exposure there and hopefully just grow from there. I'm still young enough that I can basically do anything that I would like.
So what drew you to bodybuilding? Did you just like stumble across like a girl in a sparkly bikini, or what got you there?
I followed a lot of people on Instagram, and then I started following people on YouTube too, and there was a couple people that I was following that were doing bikini shows and bodybuilding, and it just sparked my interest. And what made me want to pursue it was that I had been weightlifting for like 4 or 5 years at that point, and then doing a show gave me like a goal and something to reach, and so then I was more motivated in the gym and just wanted to experience a different side of fitness, because obviously there's lots of different avenues you can take in the fitness industry. So I just really liked how elegant the bikini girls looked and how dedicated and how much discipline they had.
So I know I think it was your first show, it was Nevada State.
Yeah.
What made you want to do both the bikini categories, and I think you also did wellness? What was the thought philosophy there?
Yeah. So this was in 2020, and this was like basically the first year that wellness was a thing in NPC. The category was still being like known, and for the wellness the judges were still learning how to judge it, and like there wasn't a specific body type yet. So it was just a new category that I would just wanted to try out and see how it went. I'm definitely smaller, and so bikini fits me better. But it was just something to do and enter more classes and just get on stage more.
Well, you definitely killed it on stage. You walked away with quite the number of trophies. So
Thank you.
That was really cool. What's the most challenging with where you're at right now with bodybuilding, and how do you stay motivated?
I think the most challenging part, I've basically been self-coached for all of my shows and stuff for the past 2 years. And I definitely have a coach in mind that I want to eventually start being coached by, but just financially, it's just very expensive. So I think that's probably my biggest setback in the industry. My goal for this next year, I'm planning on competing in June, self-coached again. And then going off of that, I wanted to try to do a national show depending on if I'm qualified or not. Then to see where I am financially at that point, if I can get a coach for that.
So what advice would you have for girls who want to get into bikini bodybuilding?
Yeah. For the bikini, definitely don't do it for other people. Do it if it's something that you actually want to do, and it's not like, oh, I just want to look like that girl. Like, if I do bikini, then I'll look skinny. Then I'll be, like, the ideal fitness person or, like, female. If you're wanting to do bikini just so that you can look like the other girls and you think that you will be happier if you're skinny or whatever, you definitely shouldn't try competing for that reason, because it's very mentally and physically draining. And if you're not doing it for the right reasons, then you'll get more negative effects than positive. So just doing it for you and not for anybody else.
How about advice for someone like me? Like if I'm struggling with like my bikini competition journey, what advice would you have for me to stay motivated?
It may be hard at first. That in the long run, it would be worth it, and that you'll be like proud of yourself, and the suffering, or however you may say it, is only for a little bit of time, and like time goes by really fast, so then you'll look back at it and be like that went by so quick. Like, so just to remember that it's only for a short period of time, and that if it's something that you really want, that the pros will outweigh the cons in the end.
That was really good. I like that. I'm definitely going to keep that in mind. So do you have anything that you do as a routine before you step on stage?
Just practicing my posing, of course, and then it all goes by really fast. So like in the moment, like you think that there's stuff that you might do or whatever, but it just goes by so fast, and you're so like worried about not missing like your call on stage that you just kind of live in the moment. And so there's nothing really that I did. I like brought my AirPods and stuff to listen to music, but I ended up not even doing that because I was just so worried about listening for my name to be called for my class. So I just pretty much just stay backstage and eat some carbs for pump up, and like do some exercises for pump up.
What's your favorite pre-pump snack?
Probably just like Nutella, Rice Krispies, sour strips. For reference, like for pumping up backstage, you're supposed to eat like fast acting and absorbing carbs. So that's like sugar and like rice cakes and stuff like that.
What's your favorite chocolate?
Peanut butter, or
Reese's peanut butter cups?
Yeah.
Those are pretty yummy. Let's talk about the workout that you'll put me through. Is it something you designed for yourself, or something that someone gave you?
Yeah, so I'm self-coached, like I said. So they're all my workouts are designed by me, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't write them out or anything. I just kind of do it in the moment and what I'm feeling that day. I do have like a workout split that I follow, just depending on like how my energy is that day, like how sore I am, how much I've eaten, like what time of day it is, and like even just like in that moment, like how I'm feeling depends on how my workouts are, and like how long I will lift, what I will do, how heavy, how much cardio. And of course, like while I'm in prep, I'm more strict about like how long my workouts are and how much cardio I'm doing. But in the off season, I just like it to be more enjoyable, and so I just do what I feel like doing that day.
Perfect. So what are we going to do in the gym for our workout?
So for that day that we are working out, I do have legs as my split. Doesn't matter which body part I'm doing. I always do about 2 compound lifts, and I always do a couple warm-up sets, and then I normally do 4 to 5 working sets for my compound lifts. Again, it varies on like how I'm feeling that day.
So Shelby, what social media platforms can people find you on?
Mainly Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. They're all shelbs.clayton, and then like YouTube's just my name, Shelby Clayton. But yeah.
And I'll go ahead and link everything in the description, or the show notes, because it's not YouTube. Show notes below for everybody to find you. So is there anything else that you want to talk about or promote that we didn't get a chance to cover?
So I do actually have an activewear company that's just recently started this past year. We've just had one launch. I'm just hoping to grow more this coming year in Texas and everything, and continue my activewear line. But it is called Foxy Gal Fit, and it's on Instagram, FoxyGal_fit. So we do still have our items online. Our website is Foxy Gal Fit. So if you're interested, you can check it out and purchase anything. It supports me a lot, and it really means a lot to me because I'm a very small influencer and just trying to get my name out there.
Well, I can say that I have a sports bra and the pants, and I've worn them twice so far, and I absolutely love them. They perform really, really well. I have the cropped hoodie, and I'm just not a cropped person. But man, if that was full length, I would wear the shit out of it, let me tell you. So
I'm small, so crop things and stuff work well on me.
Well, if you ever bring out a full-size hoodie, I will definitely 100% purchase. Well, if that's everything, thanks so much for coming on the podcast and sharing your journey with me. And let's go do those legs. What an absolutely awesome episode, talking to someone who's just 20 years old, 12 years my junior. So it was really inspiring for me to hear her story, hear her advice, and work out with her in the gym. We did an absolutely epic leg day, and I was definitely having a hard time leaving the gym. If you want to see exactly what we did and how I was absolutely destroyed after that leg day, head over to my YouTube as stated in the interview, youtube.com/itsasam thing. And again, I will link all of Shelby's contact information in the show notes below. So until next time, thanks so much for listening to the Biggest Little Fitspo podcast, and I will talk to you real soon.